Hello everyone!
Welcome back to our couch videos.
Haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of our vlogs.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk to you a little bit about some things that we have been thinking about as our vlogs have been going up. Some things we've learned from our vacation in the past, our honeymoon, anytime we've traveled together, and start putting together a little series of some things that we've learned and some helpful hints and tricks just from our experience alone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, we are trying to reach 100 as the time that our video is going up now. Hopefully, if you're watching this years from now, we have way more than that. But go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and make sure that you select all notifications so that way you can be alerted as to when our videos go up every Tuesday. And also be sure to check us out on Instagram and Twitter, which are also linked in the description down below.
Today we wanted to talk to you a little about something we actually did for our honeymoon. We did a split stay of hotels. So if you're wondering what this means you're taking part of your hotel stay for, let's say you're there for 7 days, 3 days in one hotel, 4 days in another. And on our honeymoon we decided to do this. We wanted to stay at the Polynesian for 6 days, 7 days, however long we were there. And we realized it was kind of expensive, so we looked into split stay just to see what that would look like. And we ended up settling on the Contemporary and the Polynesian for two reasons. One, it was a little bit cheaper. And two, we really wanted to stay on the monorail line just to see what it was like. And we had a great time.
Yeah, and we just so happened to be doing this again in November for a very different reason. As we were going to book our hotels recently, all of Pop Century was sold out for the time that we wanted to be there for. So we were like, damn, we're not gonna get to do Pop Century. We really love it there. We loved staying there last time, but this time it just wasn't available. So I went ahead and was like, let me see if it's available for a shorter time period. And it was available for a full week. We're looking at doing like a 7-night, not a 6-night, so 8 days, or a Saturday to Sunday instead of a Sunday to Sunday, which is more like a typical time window that you would do it. So we booked Pop for 6 of those nights, and we're doing actually the Coronado Springs Gran Destino Tower for our very first night that we're there.
Woo!
Weird, I know, but great. We couldn't afford Gran Destino for the entire time, and we just figured it would be great to settle in, relax, go resort hop for a little bit, really like ease into our Disney trip this time. Maybe go check out Disney Springs, which is our favorite, and just kind of like get a feel and like get into Disney that way instead of like bam, going right to the parks and like tiring ourselves out. So there you go. Those are our 2 split stays. One that already happened, one that's going to be happening. And now we're going to talk a little bit about kind of why you would maybe want to do split stays yourself.
So one really good reason is a change of scenery. You get to see 2 different resorts, stuff you may never see before. So you could stay at Boardwalk, and then you could go stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Just 2 different completely change of sceneries. You get to see different rooms, what that's like. You'd get to see different pools. You get to see different activities that go on around the hotel. And it just makes for a different atmosphere. It's not as hectic as you would think either.
Another reason that you might want to do split stay is for significant savings. Like we mentioned, for both times we did save quite a bit of money by going with 2 different resorts. So whether that means doing a value and a deluxe, or a value and a moderate, or 2 moderates, or even 2 deluxes, who knows, but oftentimes you will find that you will save money by doing a split stay as opposed to just staying at one hotel the entire time, unless of course you're planning on staying at one of the values the whole time. But if maybe you want to sneak in a night or 2 at a moderate or a deluxe and then stay at a value the rest of the time, it definitely saves you a lot of money. So you're spending like $1 to $150, maybe $180 now at some of those values, as opposed to like $300 to $400 in the moderates, or $500, $600, $700, $800 a night in some of the deluxes that we're finding. So, savings is quite a bit. You can spend it on all the food and merch you want.
Also, availability is very big. So you might be able to not get a hotel for 7 days straight, but you could get the hotel you wanted for 3 days, and then you could get another hotel for the other 4 days. It just kind of changes it up and makes it a little bit easier, so that way, you know, if you really wanted this hotel, you can still have that hotel. Maybe not for the time that you wanted, but at least you can still get it, and you get to see something, you know, you haven't seen before, or maybe you have seen before and really enjoy. So availability is really a big option into this.
Yeah, and I find that the reason that sometimes that they do this is because they're trying to fill smaller pockets of room visits. Like I said, that bigger window of like a week or so, week to 10 days, is kind of a big time period for you to take up one whole hotel room.
Yeah.
So they're more likely to have smaller pockets that they're trying to fill, and you usually save money on those because they're trying to fill those rooms for those smaller time periods, which are less likely to happen for most people's Disney trips. And the last reason that you might consider doing a split stay is maybe, I know that most people will do like a relaxation day somewhere in the middle of their vacation, but maybe you're like us and you want to do a relaxation day towards the beginning of your trip or the end, and then the other parts you're going to be doing like sun up to sundown park fun stuff, like just gonna be go go go. So in that case, maybe you'd want to stay at like Animal Kingdom Lodge for those days where they're like gonna be a down day. Going to Disney Springs, maybe like just going to do some fireworks or a water park for part of the day or something. And then maybe you want to stay at a moderate or a value. Maybe something like Pop that's less expensive but access to the Skyliner and gonna get you like in and out of Hollywood Studios and Epcot really fast when you're gonna be at the parks like all the time. Now we'll kind of move on to how it all works and a few of our tips, tricks, and just things that you should know in general about doing a split stay before you make the decision of whether or not it's a good idea for you.
So first, let's talk about booking your split stay. Obviously, if you're going through a travel agent, you want to make this request to them, and they will handle all of that for you. Just tell them what resorts you want to stay at. However, if you're like us and you want to do this yourself, just be aware that you're going to have to book your hotel, A, normally like you would book a hotel, and B, you'd have to do both hotels and put a deposit down for both. So it's going to be a little bit more of an upfront cost and right out of the gate, but it's going to be a little bit easier towards the end. You won't have to pay as much at the end of your vacation and when you stay at each hotel.
Something else that's important to know that I know is a big question of ours when we were deciding to do a split stay for the first time was whether or not our reservations would sync up, because everyone knows that those advanced dining reservations and those fast passes are going to go for your earlier days, and you're more likely to get those on your last day or two of your visit. Like, that's how we were able to get our California Grill brunch reservation, because it was the Sunday that we were leaving. Yes, it did happen. They synced up. We were good to go. So once it hit that like 60-day mark, technically we were able to do fast passes for like 67 days out or whatever it was. And same thing for advanced dining reservations. We were able to make the reservations for the entire length of our trip, not just for like that first 3-day window. We didn't have to go in again 3 days later and wake up at 7 in the morning to do the rest of our reservations, which is key. But if you want to just be sure of that, you can always call Disney. They're fantastic. Just tell them you're doing a split stay and just make sure that they know that your reservations are like linked, synced, whatever you need to do.
Ooh, linked and synced.
Linked and synced.
Linked, synced,
Slinked.
baby.
Yeah.
Another thing is your Magical Express. So you're going to have to book this, one from the airport to your first hotel, and then you want to make sure you have the Magical Express leaving from your second hotel to the airport. So a way around this also is Lyft. Obviously you can take the Magical Express from the airport to your first hotel. That's easy, no problems at all. But if you're like us and you don't know about security and you don't know how that's gonna go, we got lifts from the Polynesian to the airport. We were there in 30 minutes, got in through security, no problem. So you have options to get around Magical Express if you don't want to, but just know you have to book it at each resort if you're doing that end.
And what you can do is, again, just call a Disney representative. This is a good time to talk about making sure that your reservations are linked. That's the way that they'll actually like know that you're staying in one place and leaving from another. It's pretty common, like not everybody does it, but it happens more often than you think. So they're able to do it really quickly for you. A helpful hint that you might not think about, but in the grand scheme of planning, you're going to want to make sure that the day that you're switching hotels or resorts is a day that you're going to be at the parks or busy during the middle of the day. So maybe that's a day where you sleep in a little bit more, and then you're going to go to the parks a little later and stay during midday. That's against the advice that we would normally give you to do early morning, go back and nap, go in the end of the night for the rest of your activities to kind of avoid the heat and the crowds that happen in the middle of the day, lunch, all that stuff, and, you know, to take your daily nap. But you're not going to want to have that because you will not have that hotel to crash at for those few hours midday.
Another thing to keep in mind on that switch day is your luggage. We recommend taking your luggage from your first resort and bringing it to your second resort. We got a lift from the Contemporary to the Polynesian, you know, that $2 lift ride.
I think it was like $5.
So regardless, lift it to your next hotel. It's easy. You can guarantee your stuff is there because you never know when you're going to need whatever in your bag. If you need sunscreen, sunglasses, whatever. So
yeah, like if you forget anything and you need to go back to your hotel,
yeah,
to pick it up, it'll already be at Bell Services instead of being somewhere possibly in transit.
True. The other option is if you don't want to obviously walk this over yourself, go up to Bell Services at your first hotel and say, hey, we're switching hotels. Can you get this from this hotel to wherever? And they can usually set that up very quickly. And it's really no hassle. You're just not 100% sure when it's going to get there. They can give you an estimate of a time, but if you get back to your second hotel, you may have to call Bell Services at your second hotel to get your luggage to your room or see where it is in the transit process. That's why we recommend getting the lift and bringing it over yourself.
Yeah, if you do that, I would recommend calling earlier in the morning, actually. Don't just, like, be checking out and be like, here's my luggage, can you bring it to another hotel? Because they're going to need time to plan those transits and, like, when things are moving from resort to resort.
Yeah.
So the earlier you can tell them that, the better. But, yeah. I hope that this is helpful in you making a decision whether you want to do a split stay or not. We highly recommend it. We loved when we did it before, and we will let you know, obviously, come November, or, well, a little bit after, like late November, how it went doing it for just one day as opposed to like half and half, and kind of review the process again if there's anything that comes up. But if you know of anything that maybe we missed or some reason that you might not want to do a split stay, comment down below and let us know. Or if you're interested in doing a split stay, tell us like the 2 or 3 resorts that you might want to do, or maybe some success you've already had doing it yourself.
Or if you just have any questions about split stay that we could try to answer for you, please comment down below. We're more than happy to help.
So, like I said, subscribe, like this video if you like this content that we put out for you. If you want to see more couch videos,
give us that thumbs up.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. So, thank you. Good luck with your split stays if you choose to do it, and have a magical day.
We'll catch you on the split side.
Lame.
That's all right. Let's split.
Your bananas.
Oh.